Hello, my name is Austin Godbolt, and today we are taking a look at the Blink Mini Indoor Camera. What we're going to do is we're going to open this thing up, and I'm going to give you some first impressions about what I think about this camera. We're going to take a look inside. Let's get started. All right, so here I am outside the box, about to break it open with my trusty knife. It's made of plastic, and what we're going to do is we're just going to break it open. It's a really light box. There's not a lot to it, and so it's really easy. I struggled with it, of course, but as you can see, it's really easy once you get your knife out. The packaging is just that regular cardboard box that you are used to. It doesn't take a lot of effort. Right here, you just need to decide if you are going to just break it, rip it open, or if you're going to take your time and figure out the correct way. I get kind of tired of messing around, so I went with the brute force method. But once I get it open, you'll see that it's just basically comprised of mostly packaging with a little bit of the actual camera. So, all right, I finally made it inside. What we're going to do, we're just going to open it up. As you can see, there is a simple outlet, two-pronged outlet, pretty standard. You remember, this is an indoor camera, so it's going to be expected that you're going to plug it in. Standard USB packaging. The cool thing with this cord is that it will work with any USB outlet connector. Very simple. And then as you can see, this camera is really small. It's designed to be indoors. Doesn't take much more effort than that. As you can see, there's two screws that come with it. I don't think I saw any packaging or any instructions that were included. The instructions I found later are actually in the box, which I'll show you in just a moment. There are the two screws, and that's the whole thing. That's where the screws go. You can see on the bottom. Later on in this video, I'll actually show you how to connect the camera to the electrical cord. It's all really simple, really easy, and doesn't take a lot to get started. What you'll have to do, you'll probably spend twice as much time actually installing it to your device and your home network than you will actually having to unbox it. So as you can see, I just kind of tested everything out real quick, and we are taking a look around the camera. Very simple. You can actually use that QR code to make your installation much quicker and much easier. And then on that box right here, I'll show you in just a second, these are actually where you can find the instructions. Let me get that stuff out of the way, of course. Here you will be able to find the instructions. Let's get started. You can scan that QR code and you can get up and running relatively quickly. Believe it or not, that is it when it comes to it. Now I'm going to jump back over and I'm going to do some initial impressions. All right, so we're back. Hopefully you got some good value out of that unboxing. Let's take a look at the actual camera itself. And to help us with the initial impressions, I brought along some friends, which is the Ring Indoor camera, which is probably going to be a close comparison, as well as the Waze camera, as you can see. Now, these are the older models. I've had these for a few years, but let's talk about the initial impressions of this Blink camera. Now, it is a little bit heavier than the Waze. Now that I'm picking it up, it's probably, it's not too big of a difference, but when you lift them up, you kind of notice the difference. These two are probably very close in weight. If you look, this one has a taller profile slightly. If we look at it, this one is a little bit fatter, and when I talk about fatter, I mean wider, with the the Blink Indoor camera. But I mean, these are for all intents and purposes, if we're looking at them, they're very close in weight and size and what their purpose is. In fact, they're very similar in that they use the same connections on the back, and in fact, they both have the QR codes that you would scan to get up and running. So as you can see, I mean, they're really comparable. The base is basically the same. They do the same thing on both sides. As you can see, very comparable. In fact, all three are very comparable when it comes to an indoor camera. I like them. They have a low profile. If you are trying to see what's going on in your house, the low profile is the way to go. You obviously don't want something that's big and bulky. And one thing I just noticed is that this Blink camera is actually connected with like a ball and socket type of thing, where you can loosen it and tighten it as needed. If you look around here, there's probably a way to loosen it and tighten it if it ever became loose for some reason, or if you had a different configuration. Whoops, I just popped that open on accident. So this actually detaches, and you can do additional things with that. So in initial impressions, you saw the unboxing step by step. This is a pretty cool tool. I like that it moves all around. It's 360 degrees. Now it doesn't see 360. It just means it can rotate 360 degrees as you need it. So this was Alston Godbolt with a unboxing and a brief impressions of the indoor Blink Mini camera. Thanks for watching.